welcome to the Locker Room Chat. Good to be back with you. We've been gone for a few weeks, and we're back.
We're back.
We're back for a limited time here.
The locker room is
The locker room's back. You know, Ron, everybody, you know, at the end of the year, you got to clean your locker room out and get it all spruced up and get ready for next year. And TWAA will have a dead period. We can't get in the locker room, so we'll abide by all those rules, and we'll do that. But we do have a show tonight to talk about. A lot of things to talk about since the last time we were here.
Are you talking about we're going to spruce up the locker room?
We're going to spruce the locker room up. We're going to clean it up, get it spruced up here.
Well, you never have before.
Well, we're going to do it this time.
Okay.
Just this time, okay? Is it all right if we
It's
spruce it
okay
up?
with me.
God, if we dust the table and... Yeah, there you go. It's nothing. Don't tell nobody that's how we're going to do it. It's going to be a surprise. We're going to tell them we got a surprise.
Oh, Lordy,
But some surprises, though, would be Union County wins the state baseball.
And track.
And Union County won the track?
Yes, sir. Double.
Oh, I didn't know that. Ain't no
Well,
track
you wouldn't.
for it.
I mean, you know, that's
I
what you got
see the
me for.
baseball for
I
it.
told you I was ready tonight. And you said, yeah. And look here.
I didn't know nothing about the track.
Well, see, there's a lot of things you don't know about.
Cofield makes the state also. They make a run at it. You know, Farragut and Hardin Valley go all the way down to Murfreesboro, wherever they played it at, to play a state championship. So could have played it in Knoxville and been a whole lot cheaper on both schools, saved a lot of money. But
atmosphere's different.
Atmosphere's different. Well, you got that right about the atmosphere being different, but anyway, a lot of things going on. So, you know, baseball's in the books, softball's in the books.
Now, baseball's not in the books yet. We got the big orange still in the book.
Well, I'm talking baseball high school.
High school, okay.
High school.
Okay.
We'll talk about the balls here in just a second. But, you know, softball, baseball, track, first high school sports, it's in the books. Now we're getting ready to
So let me ask you this.
You
mentioned Union County. Now, how much has Coach Kerr contributed to, you know, to the development of athletes there since he's been there?
Oh, I'd say it contributed a lot. I mean, it helped a lot. There was a lot of
culture's changed.
Culture-wise, yeah. I mean, just taking the football program, what he did in the first couple of years he was there. You know, not only that, the last place if you told me, hey, guess what school do you think will never have artificial turf? Union County would have been one of those schools. I would have thought they would have never done it.
Well, it doesn't matter.
Have never done it.
It doesn't matter what organization you belong to. Political, church, social, civic clubs. If the culture's not right, you're doomed. You got to have good culture.
Yeah, everywhere.
And that's the difference. That's the difference in a lot of NFL teams. That they say, well, how can a new coach come in and win when it's got the same players? Changes the culture. Changes from thinking we can win to we're going to win. Thinks, let's win the playoffs. Let's win the Super Bowl. It's all about culture. Lesson 1 for you tonight: culture.
Culture.
Change the culture.
Write it down on the board somewhere so it'll be here when we come back.
Every leader's got to have
culture, man.
Got to have the culture.
No, I'd say Coach Kerr played a lot in that. Just what he done up there the short time he was up there. He got the football program. You take a football program. If you look at their football program, they're one of the losingest programs around here in the state. Taking it to a winning program, going to the playoffs. Yeah. I mean, come on. I mean, he.
Now let me ask you another question. How many kids do you think during his time there he got them to stay rather than going somewhere else to play?
I'd say a ton.
Okay.
Probably, and I say a ton sounds like a lot, but,
I'm just
it doesn't take
several.
If you get the right kids to stay, that's all. If you get the right ones to stay, and everybody,
he's been able to do that.
Yeah.
And that's culture. That's culture.
It's culture. It's all about
change the culture.
Well, it's just the attitudes, and you change your. It's not that we're going to this Friday night we're going to the bus, we're going to get beat. Yeah. No, we're going to win. People don't understand. Once you
Price boys at Campbell County
used to be one. They used to call that the graveyard for coaches.
That's right.
That used to be if you were going to Campbell County to coach, you were through.
Right.
That was your last stop. That you were going to be.
You hoped you got a pay raise to make your last 5 years the
highest 5. Yeah, you did.
Because you were gone.
Because you were gone. I mean, that's just we're being truthful here. We're not. It's well known. But they go up there and they turn it around. Here's what they do. they keep their kids in Campbell County and don't allow them to come to Anderson County no more to play football.
Right.
Because they come to Anderson County to play football. So they know firsthand what it means to stay in Campbell County. They go to the middle schools and get those kids to do a commitment that they're going to stay and play at Campbell County. And by golly, what have they done? Turn the program around.
Speaking of high school football, be a change for first time in about 27 years, I think, as a defensive coach at Rockwood. Coach Allen has taken the middle school principalship job, and I think Coach Webb is bringing in a young guy from Saudi Daisy to be his defensive coordinator. So it'll be the first time that Coach Webb will probably feel some uncomfortableness on the sidelines defensively until they get a couple games under their belt. So congratulations to Coach Allen, but be a big deal.
Has Coach Allen been with him a long time?
27 years.
Oh, 27 years.
I think
I
20.
He might just
No, I think 27 out of the 28 years that Coach Webb's
been. Oh, he's been with him that long?
Yeah.
I didn't realize that.
Yeah.
Why, he's been right. Yeah. He's been his sidekick for a
So,
long time. His go-to guy.
And we've talked often about how the culture there was. You knew what you had. You're confident. You could almost speak for each other as you're trying to make a call. So it'll be a little different.
Well, I think you look at something too, and that's what everybody said about Maryville High School.
Right.
And we'll use Rockwood as an example. Every year the kids know pretty much who the coaches are going to be because it doesn't change. Same way at Maryville. You keep the culture with the coaches the same,
and that's all because of the school board decision probably 20 years ago that a principal couldn't coach. So that's been on the books. It happened that Kingston basketball coach took the principalship at Cherokee, and he couldn't coach basketball anymore. And so there have been several, because typically in the past, you've pretty much had a coach move up into administration. I mean, most of them get their master's in administration and end up as a principal somewhere and still coach. So it's just a change.
Didn't the coach at Kingston, didn't they fight that just a little bit down there and try to challenge?
Yeah, they tried to
challenge
get a variance for a year or two.
For a year or two, it didn't work.
Because it's timing. It's all about timing. They just had a really good season.
They just went to state too, hadn't they?
If it wasn't a state, it was a sub-state.
Yeah, they went
on pretty good, and
they went pretty far.
And they were trying to get a variance just for a year because timing is everything. I mean, here it is. It's time to get your playbook ready, and you got to hire a new coach, and you're 6 weeks away.
So how long has
I think just announced.
It just announced.
That's what I'm saying. So you got about 6
last
weeks.
Minute,
you got about 6 weeks to go. See.
Wow, that's tough right there for Coach Webb.
So, but that's
he'll be all right.
oh yeah, that's the nature of the game. That's the nature of the game.
He'll be all right.
But also, I thought it was interesting in the paper the other day. They had running backs to look out for, and one of the Moog brothers was from Anderson County. He's got one. His brother's over at Davison playing with with Richie over there at Davison, and now here's a young guy. I think he had 1,400 yards rushing last year.
Got hurt in the state championship game, had a knee injury. I don't know what his.
Yeah.
I don't know how far recovered he is. I hadn't heard anybody say.
Then we had one from had a youngster from Oak Ridge mentioned as well.
Yeah, the wide receiver.
Yeah.
I can't think of his name.
So
Brandon Hayward, I believe.
No, it wasn't him.
Is it Hayward?
No, it was a running back.
Oh, a running back. Okay, sorry, running back. I didn't see the running back thing. I just know the receiver. The receiver I'm talking about, he's had a lot of offers.
A lot of offers.
A lot of people have offered him.
So Oak Ridge may be coming back a little bit, huh?
Had a pretty good team last year. They just couldn't get over the injury bug.
I'm gonna guess you're not getting on the bus, though.
No, I don't know the new coach yet.
Well, I mean, I'm just saying. I don't know him either, but my guess is you're gonna get on the bus.
We're gonna get to know him. We're gonna get to know him.
Okay, I'm just saying you won't get on the bus.
It's gonna be like this. He's gonna get to know us. We can get to know him, or he'll get to know us. No, I don't know too much about him. I've heard good things about him as far as coaching. Just about every place he's been, he's done really well.
Right.
I mean, he has done really well, and whether he's played in the middle of, whether it's double A or single A or triple A or wherever he's done fairly well.
I don't think he's been to too many single or double A's.
Well, he won the state. He won the state championship single A.
Out at sort of Clark Range, somewhere up through there. I mean, not Clark Range, Trousdale County, out in that area, I think.
Where was it? I can't remember where it was at. Well, you know, he's been around. I think he's coached a lot of different levels in high school football. So
Gatlinburg Pittman was his last one.
Well, yeah, no, he had left GP and went to somewhere else when he came back to Oak Ridge. His problem at GP was he hadn't winning season. He just had Alcoa.
Alcoa.
I mean, that juggernaut's there waiting on you.
And Alcoa just continues to get some transfers in, to get stronger and stronger and stronger. And that may start a dynasty with them beating Maryville.
Yeah, it could.
Lewis County.
So he has jumped around. Let me just say this: where he's at today here in Oak Ridge is probably the
pinnacle.
Dresden's where he won the state championship.
Yeah, Dresden's where he wants to stay. This is probably his toughest job he's got in front of him.
It's his biggest place. That he'll have more support here than he's ever had anywhere.
He will to a certain extent, as long as he's putting W's. And these people want to see him in the playoffs, and they expect.
Well, if he'll just listen to you on Friday night,
you don't have to listen to me.
He'll get the right.
He doesn't have to listen to me.
He'll get the right plays.
You better listen to him at Blankenship. There's nobody better than Joe Gaddis can tell you. It's all about winning down here.
Well, you better keep the train on the track. No pun intended. But when them whistles blow over there, you better get on the track, right?
You knew coming in that he'd been coached up pretty good by somebody. I've just got my speculations who probably coached.
Somebody was.
Yeah, I've got a good idea. It was Coach Gaddis that probably coached him up. But I'm talking about here. But because the first thing he said, we're not changing. We're going to get our uniforms. We're staying this. We're not changing anything on the helmet. We're not, because that's been a big thing about changing the OR on the helmet.
That's one
that
thing.
went back to Coach Blade a little bit.
Coach Blade
wanted to change a little bit on the helmet, and it didn't go over too well with the Wildcat
Blade
family.
Found out a lot.
The Wildcat family didn't like that. Coach Blade leaves Oak Ridge, goes someplace else. What's he do? Goes to Independence, wins state championship.
But he's had Coach Blade's probably had a dozen D1 players go through Independence since he's been there.
Yeah, and I think he's still there, isn't he?
He's had one or two every year.
Yeah, he's a good football coach. I mean, I personally myself, I just don't think.
Boy, he fell right in with us, didn't he?
Yeah,
he was a really good.
He's a really good guy. He was. I'm not saying this guy's not a good guy because I don't know him.
Yeah.
So I just heard different people talk about him say, he's pretty well structured guy. Looks like pretty well. Yep. I think Oak Ridge has got a really good football coach. So we'll see. It doesn't really matter what I think; it matters what he does on the football field.
Who are you looking locally to be the leaders?
Locally, well, I hate to say this, I'm going to be shocked if Clinton's not one of the lead teams this year.
9-2.
I don't know about 9-2, but yeah, I'll be shocked if they're not somebody
Better
that has
than 6-4.
Yeah, I think better than 6-4.
Okay.
I do. I think this
County?
could be. If you hold up just a second, I'll answer your question just a second. I think this might be Clinton's first year in a while that they'll probably even might make the playoffs. I believe they have a possibility of making the playoffs this year.
6-4 would probably get them in.
Well, maybe.
Right,
I think
the right
6-4. Right. And Harrison County, here's what I got asked the other day. Hey, you've been on the Wednesday night show here recently. Y'all have not talked to anybody. Is Anderson County having football this year? I said, do what? Is Anderson County High School having a football team this year? I said, well, yeah, they're the defending state champs. Well, there's nothing being said about them. Nobody's talking about Anderson County football. It's quiet. There's nothing coming from the campus of Anderson County about Anderson County football.
Well, but Coach Gillum he doesn't want anything coming from it. He wants to
you don't hear, and I agree with who asked me the question. You don't hear the talk that you've heard probably the last 3 years coming out of AC.
Well,
that this is Because here's what it's been. This team is the best team we've had. Next year, this team's better than last
Well,
year.
they don't-
and last year's team was better than the team
That's
before.
not Coach Gillum's.
So really,
that's
you
not
don't.
his MO though.
I don't know what Anderson. So I do know the move. I know he's coming back. I don't know if he's. I don't know how healthy
They've
he
got a
is.
good quarterback coming coming in.
I guess.
Yeah.
Who knows? We've not heard anything about him.
Well, Coach
I
Terry will tell
say
you.
I'm sure Coach Terry would. I don't see Coach Terry very often or get a chance to talk.
3 years away from having a really good young quarterback.
About 3 years?
3 or 4, yeah. You know who that is?
Nope.
Gillum's son.
Oh, Coach Gillum's son?
So
man, if he's anything like his dad, his dad was a good football player. His dad was a great football player. He wasn't a good player, he was a
I
great
look for
football
Anderson County to be right back in the thick of things.
We'll see. We'll see. I mean, I'm just saying, if you just go on the, you just go on the know it. You're just not hearing the rumblings coming out
Well,
of
but
the
I'm saying
camp.
that's not Coach Gillum's
Well,
MO.
that's
You're not ever
Coach
going to hear him
Gillum's
say.
MO, but that's the MO from the AC, just from the AC fan base. Most time you're getting. I don't get I'm not getting I don't get information from coaches. You hear it from the fan. You hear it from the fans because they're connected to the program.
Well, but they
and
know
they're getting it,
you'll
but
repeat
new-
whatever they tell you. See,
They're-
I mean,
that
they
I'll-
know
that I'll what?
They know that you'll bring that out.
Bring what out?
Well, bring out whatever they tell you. We're going to be great. You're saying they're going to be
You
great.
don't have to. You don't have to bring out that they're going to be great. They tell you the last 3 or 4 years they're going to be great.
I'm just saying.
that.
You got to watch them fans.
You got to
Them
watch
fans
them.
will get you in trouble.
No, fans don't get you in trouble. Fans will tell you the truth because for the season. Yeah, they do. All right, let's take a break, Chandler. We'll take a break. We'll come right back. I got to let Barry calm down a minute.
Commercial Metals Company is still a locally operated company that's serving the people of East Tennessee with convenient hours of operation. Commercial Metals buys all types of scrap metal. Nothing is too big or too small. Still have that old clunker sitting around? We've been buying them for years. Commercial Metals are specialists in commercial scrap. We have what it takes to get any size job done. Commercial Metals encourages you to recycle responsibly. Scrap with only licensed dealers. Member of the TSRA and the ISRI. Commercial Metals Company. Turn that scrap into cash.
Daniel Forrester has been recognized as one of East Tennessee's leading attorneys for nearly 2 decades. Civil disputes, criminal defense, divorces, and juvenile custody cases are all part of an impressive resume. Daniel's legal experience also includes representing clients in local, state, and federal courts. A husband and a father, Daniel is a Rule 31 certified mediator who has represented hundreds of families in Chancery Court. Call Daniel Forrester Law Office at 865-457-7900 for a free consultation.
Make this spring all about enjoying the experience. When you ride on your new Ferris commercial mower featuring patented suspension technology, you'll have more than freshly manicured grass. You'll experience productivity and comfort like never before. And because you won't be slowing down for those rough spots, you'll mow more lawn in less time. Ferris, experience suspension.
Your local Ferris dealer is S.L. Bowman & Sons, 524 North Front Street in Rockwood. Call 865-354-0600.
The life of every child is precious. If you care for a child or teenager with a disability and have limited income and resources, they may qualify for monthly cash payments through the Supplemental Security Income Program, or SSI. Call Social Security at 1-800-772-1213 or visit ssa.gov/SSIkids to learn more. That's ssa.gov/SSIkids. Message produced by Social Security at U.S. taxpayer expense.
When should you get tested for COVID-19? You have symptoms of COVID-19, such as runny nose, congestion, sore throat, fever, cough, shortness of breath, muscle pain, headache, chills, or loss of taste or smell. Current testing recommendations say everyone should get tested immediately if they have symptoms of COVID-19. If you have symptoms, be sure to follow recommendations about how long to stay home and away from others. For more information, visit our If You Are Sick or Test Positive webpage.
Earl Duff Pre-Owned Center in Harriman is your one-stop shop for vehicle sales and service. The Duff family is open for business for everything automotive. We offer fully inspected, dependable pre-owned vehicles, and most come with a powertrain warranty at no extra cost. We also have a complete service department equipped for maintenance and repairs on all makes and models.
Don't settle for less with your next pre-owned vehicle purchase. come to Earl Duff Pre-Owned Center in Harriman or online at duffpreowned.com.
Welcome back to the locker room chat. Tennessee baseball. You know, I never did have. I wasn't too worried about them this year. Would you? Did you get worried about the Vol baseball team?
Well, only when you were asking me if I thought he was on the hot seat.
Let me tell you what, though. Everybody can be y'all upset. Everybody can be y'all upset. We're not doing a fishing show. If we're going to do the fishing show. Chandler, we're going. Hold on a minute. Hold on just a minute. We're going to move sets, and we're going to go over and do the fishing show over there, okay?
That's where we need to be.
We're talking football, baseball, basketball at this set, okay?
Look, smell fishy.
They got a dose of it today for being a very inconsistent baseball team.
What do you mean got a dose?
When they got sent to Southern Miss to play their
that doesn't have
tournament.
anything to do with it. You can't
Bull.
keep sending the regionals to the same place every year.
Bull.
You can't do
Bull.
that. I mean, there's no question that Knoxville would have made them more money, would have done everything. But you can't keep sending them to the same place.
When Auburn was going to get one and Auburn gets beat, and everybody thought that Tennessee beat. No. They got a smack in the face today. Or yesterday, rather.
What they got was a region.
There's not even enough room down there to even sell tickets.
What they got was a region win. That's what they got.
Did you
They'll be
understand
in the
what I
World
just said?
Series. They'll be in the World Series.
You couldn't go to see this game if you wanted to.
Well, sure you can. I'm
No,
going.
you can't. You're not going.
Oh,
You're not going.
yeah.
You're not a donor.
You don't
You're
have
not
to be a donor
yeah,
to go.
you do.
No.
They said the only tickets that would be available. It's already the only tickets that are available was for donors and families of the coaching staff. That's it.
How much you want to bet?
You're not going. How much you want to bet?
You want to call right now? We'll get a ticket right now.
Well, I tell you what I'll do. When I leave
now.
here, I'll call your wife.
You don't have to call my wife.
She'll tell you you're not going.
No.
I know who rules the house down there. But anyway,
they're going to go in the World Series. They'll be in the World Series.
Tennessee?
Yeah.
Oh, I hope you're right.
Yeah, they will.
I hope you're right. I hope you're right. I do. I hope you're right.
They will be.
Hope you're right. But they've not had a. When you really look at it, it's not been a very good year.
It's not been a consistent year. It's been a good year.
Well, it's a good year in terms because they're still playing.
It hasn't been a consistent year.
Up and down, up and down.
But when they're up, they're really up.
Well, when they're up, they're as good as anybody in the country.
That's exactly right.
When they're down, they're
okay.
as bad as anybody in the country.
They're okay. They'll go down and get them. This is probably the best region they could have ever been in.
I don't disagree with that.
So they're fine. They're fine as long as their pitching continues and they get some good good bullpen relief. They'll be fine.
Well, they better be glad before they could go back and have instant replay on stuff because they'd have been put out at Clemson.
Yep.
They sure hadn't had video review.
Yeah.
They would have been put out at Clemson.
They would have lost that game.
They'd have lost that game. They'd have been.
How about the Lady Vols?
Lady Vols, regular season champ, SEC champs, make it out, go to the College World Series.
Let me ask you something now. Let me ask you something.
Ask, buddy.
So you've got a pitcher who's not had a violation all year long. You get into the World Series, and an ump that had missed many calls behind the plate the night before is now on third base, and he starts calling illegal pitches.
Somebody didn't need to be on the field.
The umpire you talking about?
Yeah, it's all about him.
Well,
he's making it all about him.
I'm just saying, that's really a coincidence now. When you look at every pitcher that's pitching, you can just about call an illegal pitch every time because of the most of those girls have almost. I bet there's a lot of them using the same pitching coach because most of their motions are all the same, even their pre-delivery motion. But I just thought that was really strange that
one of them guys that wants attention.
Oh, and then there was a female
on the other side. She made
that
one of them.
Yeah.
Well, she didn't want to be left out, so she had to get in on that.
Well, she did.
It's just like we used to talk about on Friday night. We was doing live high school football games. You could call holding on every play.
Yeah.
And when that guy gets on that roll of reaching in his pocket or reaching in his waistline and throwing that flag, sometimes they get eat up in it.
Well, I just thought it was really
and it's
strange.
all about them. It's because they're on TV now and they take the game over.
Yeah, I just thought it was really strange that all of a sudden at the pinnacle of the season, you start getting illegal pitches.
I guess I was going to say I wasn't going to question Karen Weekly on this, but I guess by bringing this up, I am questioning Karen Weekly, and I really don't have no right. I don't even have the knowledge to question her about it because I'm not, I don't know who. She knows her players better than I do. I didn't understand her pitching arrangement for Oklahoma. I didn't understand why she held her two best arms out for Oklahoma. Not lest she thought, and I don't think this be the case, this is just my thinking, not lest she thought that they didn't have a chance to beat Oklahoma, and they were going to throw everybody else, and they were going to save their best two arms, and then they were going to make it back to the finals to play Oklahoma, and then they would throw their best then. They wouldn't sacrifice out. They were trying to get back to the championship game. They thought she thought that might be the route that they needed to go. I don't agree with the pitching. I don't agree with the pitching thing.
The other thing I thought was that she was hoping that she could get to about the fourth inning and either have it close or have the lead, and then she would bring Rogers in to finish it. And then Rogers could have finished it and pitched again instead of pitching a whole new game. I was thinking if she could get 4 or 5 pitches, 4 or 5 innings out of four pitchers, and keep the game to a 1 or 2 run game, so that they could come back. Then they'd have Rogers to close it and then be able to come back again.
But on what I just said, I will give her credit. She said that's on me. I made that decision.
That's right.
And so she took full responsibility for it. I mean, so I'm sure they had there's some theory there we might not never know. I'm sure they, within the Tennessee staff, know. But I think Lady Vols had, a really good year. Man, if everybody comes back, I know there's no guarantee, but they've got everybody back except for one player, Rogers. And she was a key cog this year, but they've got everybody returning. So I didn't understand the girl, and I didn't realize this till later on in the season. I don't understand the girl that plays shortstop for Tennessee. Don't know her name, but she transferred in here from Oklahoma.
Right.
And she'd won a couple of championships with Oklahoma. Why do you leave Oklahoma and come to Tennessee?
I think she was playing left field.
And she wanted to play shortstop?
I think she was going to get a chance to play shortstop, yeah.
Okay. Makes a little sense, I guess. I mean, I don't really know. Makes a little sense.
Yeah.
So the big talk
Plus,
is...
she got a little RIL money, too.
Probably did. That's a hot... This NIL deal stuff's it's a hot thing right now. I mean, I seen where Tennessee lost a wide receiver commitment. I wonder if that's
4-star.
Wonder if that's got anything to do with money.
Well,
he didn't get what he wanted.
That's probably going to be the first thing that people comment about if they do lose some would be NIL money.
That's a big conversation. There was an article today, and I didn't read it. I got a phone call and just didn't go back and pick the paper back up to read it. There was an article today. I believe Kirby Smart was talking about being second in the SEC was going to be a trap. Did you read it?
Yes.
What did it say?
Well, what he's saying is right now, if the top 4 are going to get the buys and will be the number 1 seeds. So if you come in second, then you're going to have to play 2 weeks after the SEC championship game. Otherwise, you get 4 weeks to play. So he's saying if you come in second, you're going to end up having to play right off the bat again. So 2 weeks. 2 weeks is plenty of time, though. I mean, I think.
But hadn't you rather play? I thought they complained about there was too much of.
Well, some of them had, some of them did. But the other thing he's saying is, the SEC championship game is the most physical game you're going to play all year. So you're probably going to get some guys banged up, and you'd like to have more than 2 weeks. But it's just like having an open date. I mean, in the regular season, you're going to 2 weeks. 2 weeks is a good amount of time to heal a bunch of things.
Yeah, I had to heal.
But that's what he was talking about. Plus,
that's what he talked about. Okay, I just go back and read the article.
Plus, you start getting you like that 1 versus 12 or that 1 versus 8 or whatever that seed ranking is going to be. rather than that second place finish.
So Sankey.
But what about the 8-game schedule? I'm still not sold. I'd like to see at least 9-game schedule.
I think that's on the table, but they just didn't do it this year.
Yeah, I'd like to see a 9-game schedule, at least 9.
So am I right? Am I correct? This year we're playing just everybody plays,
8.
and we're not playing divisions.
No, this year I think you're still playing divisions.
We're still playing divisions this year?
You got to wait for Oklahoma and Texas come
Oklahoma and Texas coming in.
Yeah. Then you're changing from divisions.
Do we think Oklahoma and Texas is going to make the SEC better? Now,
I think what you got to look at there is what teams could you get, and then you got to look at those are probably two of the most powerful teams that you could go after that would change a conference.
So I will say this: if I was talking about Texas as far as the SEC women's basketball, they've had a pretty good run in women's basketball. Men's basketball is so-so.
Oh, they didn't get them for basketball.
They got them for football?
They got them for football.
It's football strictly? Oklahoma, you can look at softball-wise coming in?
Yeah, they got them for football.
Well, let me ask you this. Do you think the SEC should expand and go after Clemson and Florida State?
I think you got to be careful because what happens then is you lose balance. You lose balance from these other conferences. So I think and it's still all about money. It's still all about money.
Nah, surely not.
And if the SEC can you look at Texas, you got a Manning coming in from quarterback. You got a good coach at Texas now. Oklahoma's been there and they've done it, and they're going to probably be back again. That'll help recruiting, being in the SEC. So they're going to start retaining more kids there. But again, it's all about that NIL money. Who's Texas and Oklahoma both have plenty of money now. They have plenty of money.
So money's not an issue.
Really nice stadium at Oklahoma, beautiful place, brick facade. Hadn't been to Texas, but I just think it's a good fit for the SEC. It's a good fit. You got Texas A&M. So you've already got Missouri. You've already got a nucleus.
Well, Arkansas
right in there.
Arkansas used to be in that.
Yeah.
What was that? Southwest.
Yeah. Old
Southwestern Conference. So, what about Clemson and Florida State? You think the SEC should go after them?
Not right now. I think you've got to let this Texas and Oklahoma digest a little bit. I mean, they can't even decide what to do with them. I mean, so you got to make. You got to take your time. Where can Clemson and Florida State go? I think that's the first question you have to ask. They're not going to leave the ACC probably.
Why don't we
so
just
what they're going to look at now is probably bringing in. They're going to try to go after some of these other teams to build up the ACC.
Well, the $1 million question would be, who then?
Well, I think
who's left out here that you go after?
Well, there's some teams that would switch conferences for money, probably.
Yeah, but who? I mean, if you're trying to build up, Texas and Oklahoma, I could say that's two good football programs. But I can think of two you probably could take out of the SEC and eliminate two and let them two take their place.
But you're not going to eliminate anybody.
I know that. I'm saying I could see where you could.
Vanderbilt's not going anywhere.
How do you know I was going to say Vanderbilt?
Well, I just know Vanderbilt's not going anywhere.
I was going to say Alabama.
Kentucky's not going anywhere.
Say Alabama and Georgia ought to go. Get rid of them?
No. But I just think it's sort of like this golf thing, I mean, what a ridiculous.
I can't say what I want to say about that,
but anyway, I think you got to digest. The SEC, all of this movement, and sift it through and see where it lands. Travel is no longer a problem. Used to it was regional. That's gone now.
You want to go back and talk about the golf thing for just a second. We usually don't talk golf on here unless it's high school, but man, you want to talk about money? Oh. Money has played an effect in the golf stuff.
Well, just when they formed the new league.
That's what I'm saying.
All of a sudden,
But the PGA is not. We're not. We're in a loss. We're in a lawsuit. We're in a lawsuit.
No longer you are.
No, I know we're not. But we're in a lawsuit that for things we're going to do.
Right.
PGA. And now
We're
the
buddies.
lawsuit.
We're buddies.
We're buddies now. It's because I wonder how many trucks it took to bring the money.
And what you've done now is, just in the last 2 years, you've seen the major tournaments go from maybe $1.2 million to over $3 million in the PGA. So a guy finishing in the top 10 now is making $750,000, $800,000. That used to be $150,000 or $160,000. People like Stallings. Stallings is very consistent. He'll be,
He's not played too bad.
He'll lead some tournaments. He'll finish in the top 10, and he'll make him $3 or $4 million a year.
He's played pretty consistent.
Not a bad gig.
Yeah, not a bad gig.
Now,
not a bad job.
Now that $3 million will earn him about $5 or $6 or $7 million.
That's even better.
Well, I'm saying just playing the same brand of golf. Because that's where the money's. I mean, that's how that money. Now, what are they going to do? They don't even play the same number of holes.
The other tournaments is a little bit shorter.
Yeah, they were only what, 54
casual,
holes.
A little bit more casual dress.
Yeah.
And stuff.
Yeah.
They do some team
stuff. Yeah.
They do some team stuff. Their payouts are a little bit more money.
Oh, they're huge amounts.
They're a huge amount of money. They're where you're talking about $1 million for the winning purse. Over there, it's $5, $6, $7, $8 million.
Oh, it's 18 or 20 million.
It's that's what I'm saying. It's up there. So you got a chance of really winning some money.
Yeah.
Winning some money over there.
Trust is going to be the big thing now. I would guess that the PGA commissioner will not make it through this. He won't make it through this.
I don't see how he can.
No,
He has
there's
sold his soul to the devil.
There's no trust.
He got a Brinks truck backed up to his garage and they dumped it out.
There's no trust at all now.
No, none whatsoever. None whatsoever.
Now do you have to, the players that played over there that lost their PGA cards, do you just give it back to them?
I think you have to.
I mean, there's a lot at stake.
Well, there'll be a new card come out. There's a
lot at stake, and now all of a sudden, everybody hated the Shark. Now he'll probably get a place at the table now.
Yeah, him, Phil Mickelson.
I'm saying he was the president of the new league, so he'll get a place at the table now.
Yeah, he'll get a seat now.
Greg Norman, they hated him.
Yeah, hated him. You're right, they did. Let's take another break, Channel. We'll be right back here in just a minute.
Earl Duff Pre-Owned Center in Harriman is your one-stop shop for vehicle sales and service. The Duff family is open for business for everything automotive. We offer fully inspected, dependable pre-owned vehicles, and most come with a powertrain warranty at no extra cost. We also have a complete service department equipped for maintenance and repairs on all makes and models.
Don't settle for less with your next pre-owned vehicle purchase. Come to Earl Duff Pre-Owned Center in Harriman or online at duffpreowned.com.
Daniel Forrester has been recognized as one of East Tennessee's leading attorneys for nearly 2 decades. Civil disputes, criminal defense, divorces, and juvenile custody cases are all part of an impressive resume. Daniel's legal experience also includes representing clients in local, state, and federal courts. A husband and a father, Daniel is a Rule 31 certified mediator who has represented hundreds of families in Chancery Court. Call Daniel Forrester Law Office at 865-457-7900 for a free consultation.
This is my husband, Alex Hussey. Alex is about 2 weeks away from coming home.
I was playing man in foot patrol, and I stopped on the bomb. Lost my legs and my left hand in an explosion.
And he suffered a severe traumatic brain injury.
As America's veterans face challenges, DAV is there.
There are so many mountains to climb, and we do it together.
With the right support, more veterans can reach victories, great and small.
Come on, Alex, take on this mountain. That's what this is all about.
DAV provides a lifetime of support to veterans of every generation, helping more than 1 million veterans each year.
Alex has conquered this mountain. That's something he won't forget.
With the right support, there are no limits.
Look at that smile! You did it!
But there's more to be done and more victories to be won.
This has meant so much.
Thank you, DAV.
Alex Hussey, thank you for your service. Support more victories for veterans. Go to DAV.org.
Really? Again? Hey, if I had automotive style suspension like the new Simplicity, plus a free floating mower deck for the best cut, I'd be all that too.
Well,
And if I had the expertise and advice of his Simplicity dealer, maybe he'd look forward to hanging out with me.
you don't have a Simplicity dealership.
Good point. Huh.
SL Bowman & Sons, 524 North Front Street in Rockwood.
Commercial Metals Company is still a locally operated company that's serving the people of East Tennessee with convenient hours of operation. Commercial Metals buys all types of scrap metal. Nothing is too big or too small. Still have that old clunker sitting around? We've been buying them for years. Commercial Metals are specialists in commercial scrap. We have what it takes to get any size job done. Commercial Metals encourages you to recycle responsibly. Scrap with only licensed dealers. Member of the TSRA and the ISRI. Commercial Metals Company. Turn that scrap into cash.
Welcome back to the locker room chat. Glad to be with you.
Tell me more about what we're going to do in the locker room here now. I'm sort of excited about that.
We'll clean it up.
Clean it up.
Dust, sweep the floors, spray a little
Oh, so you're going to do the same thing you've been doing at home.
Yeah. Get the Clorox. You know how you go in the locker room and you got to clean it out, air it out, and get it spruced up for the.
Yeah, I
got to
know.
get ready for
sort of like
this
you do at
football.
home. Like you do at home.
Shoot, yeah, man. I know who the boss is. I'm
Okay.
not stupid.
Okay.
I've not been married 40-some years for nothing.
I'm just checking. No, it ain't for nothing.
That's right. I've not been married 40-plus years for nothing.
That's good.
I'm a smart man.
That's good. That's good.
I mean,
that's good.
I got a wife that can cook and everything.
That's good.
She's a great cook.
That's good. So locker rooms. This is the time of year when they look around and programs are always looking. The boosters will come in and they'll add something.
Little paint.
Yeah,
Go out
they'll
and buy
add
a piece
something.
of equipment.
Weight room gets reevaluated.
Get some new helmets. Get some new jerseys or uniforms. Depends on this year if it's the time. And maybe try a different design cleat or something. Everybody's getting ready, and then you have your little dead period here. I don't think there's any more dead period in high school football. Period.
Well, you think they're doing that July 4th week, though?
I think they're in a passing league somewhere, probably.
Well, I don't think there are any passing leagues. That's what I'm saying. I
don't
think that's
know.
probably the only dead period you have.
I don't know. There's a dead period. They're not supposed to do anything. You're not supposed to be at the locker room. Coach is not supposed to be on the school property or nothing.
So, this might be a good time to. We used to do a coaches show.
Yeah.
This might be a good time with all the new coaches and stuff around to try to put together a little coaches show.
We can do that. When we get ready to come back right before it, we can come back and
whenever you get the locker room ready,
we can get the coaches up. If you can get.
A lot of them take vacation on those 2 weeks.
Yeah.
They do. If we could get them together.
Oh, you could go out and tape the shows. You could tape the shows so you'd be less inconvenience on them.
We've done that.
We used to do that before.
Yeah. We went and covered something me and Brad did a long time ago, Anderson County Pitcher Day or something they had. We was there and interviewed players. Media Day, yeah, we went up on Media Day at AC. It's been a few years back, but we went up a few years back. So, this is a lull right here, and then it won't be long that the beat picks up because football season starts.
So
when football season starts right here, high school football season starts, that's when the heartbeat, I think everything really, it gets pumped back up because everybody gets ready because football is really important around here. Really important.
You talk about winning golf tournaments. I won a little golf tournament last night.
Well, you must have cheated.
No, buddy, no. We had four-hole playoff. You won't guess who sunk the winning putt.
Tell me.
Shoot, buddy, I was hot.
Oh, I should have known it'd been you. Is there any witnesses?
Oh, yeah. We had about 9 people standing around watching.
Well, I need some witnesses.
Oh, you got witnesses, buddy. I wouldn't tell you that. I mean, it was fun. That's the first time I've been in a 4-hole playoff. Gets tight, buddy. Gets tight. Even for a playoff.
Tight for a playoff.
Gets tight, buddy.
Yeah. What was the age group of the kids y'all were playing for the playoff? What, 13, 15-year-olds or something?
Oh, no, it's plastic clubs.
Hey,
you won't talk like that.
Well, I just had to throw it. You got to laugh out of Brad even over here. Brad said over and he's even chuckling.
Come on,
You
man.
have to give me credit. That's pretty good.
I didn't think it was very good.
Listen, I hate to ask this, but I'm gonna ask this. We had any bad injuries on the pickleball court? Anybody break a leg or anything?
No, we're outside now.
Out, boy, that's even worse.
No, ain't much of it. Don't have any walls. Don't have any walls to run. Yeah, but you don't have any. No, play early in the morning.
Early in the morning.
Yeah,
How early?
9.
9.
Yeah, so you don't have any walls to bang off of.
Listen, you hear some banging the doors here, and you see me and Brad coming, we'll be filming it. We done that to you once.
Come on out. Come on out. Come on out.
I'd love to see that. I'd love to see it.
Oh, son, put the spin on. Put that English on.
Yeah.
Different ball outside than it is inside.
Why is there a difference?
Well, the ball's
I don't know much about the game.
Ball's got to be tougher because of pavement and stuff.
Oh, because
surface.
Okay. So inside you're playing on like I guess like a basketball court,
yeah.
hardwood.
Most of them.
Most of them are hardwoods.
Yeah. Outside
outside you're playing
like,
on
like a lot of
asphalt with the solar on top of it.
A lot of places have taken tennis courts.
Yeah.
You can take 2 tennis courts and get 6 pickleball courts out of it.
We took some tennis courts and made a pickleball court.
But it's
a hot
packed,
game, isn't it?
Packed.
It's a hot game.
Packed,
I mean, it's
all
hot
the
game.
time. No pun intended.
No
right?
pun intended, but it's already turned into professional, making some big money.
Oh yeah, look who the owners are.
Who is owners? I don't have a clue.
Well, your favorite quarterback's one of them.
Oh my God. Oh, Eli.
No.
Eli Manning is?
No.
Who?
No. Well, who's your other favorite quarterback?
Tom Brady.
Tom Brady. Yeah, he's got a team, and there's several. There's several.
I was in. I'm not going to say the name of the sporting goods store I was in, but I was in a sporting goods store here not long ago and seen a line that Brady's got a clothing line in a sporting goods store, some athletic stuff in a sporting goods store.
Did you see where he bought into the Oakland Raiders?
They like it. Yeah. They said he'd be in the box this year, probably be sitting in the owner's box with the old guy from there.
Davis?
Yeah.
Las Vegas, right?
There's a rumor going around he's coming back. He's trying to tell everybody
Well, he can't
he's coming back.
if he owns one of the teams.
Well, he could always put a silent partner in there.
No, you can't.
Put his dad in
You
his
can't
place.
pull a Pete Rose, man. You
Put
can't
his
pull a
dad.
Pete.
Man, what about the? I don't know if we've been here since the Georgia coach got fired for the online betting stuff. I mean, the betting stuff. Alabama. It was Alabama coach.
Baseball
Excuse me,
coach.
baseball coach.
Yeah.
Alabama coach got fired in the midst of that.
Yeah.
Wow, that's unreal. Did you put your career on the line? I mean, that's
Well,
really.
Pete Rose
You talk
did.
about throwing a hook out.
Pete
and
Rose did.
somebody- Pete Rose wasn't betting on the Reds though. He was betting on the.
Oh, so the
Tide,
Alabama
man.
guy was betting on Alabama?
Yeah, I think he was. I don't know. I'm just kidding. I don't really know. Pete Rose ought to be in the Hall of Fame. Don't get me started because he needs to be in the Hall. Well, what are we doing? We waiting on him to die? We just waiting on him to die.
He won't be in there
Put him
then.
in the Hall of Fame. We need to put him in the Hall of Fame.
How about Larry Severs going in, being maybe inducted in the College Hall of Fame? Will he make it?
I hope. He's a good guy, man.
He is a good guy. You know, the only thing you have to worry about there is you know, if you don't get in but before you start having all these cats running these records, that's what they look at, these records. And at the time, his record was good. He was a leading receiver in the history of Tennessee, yardage and everything. But now you got. My guess is that is it McGee that's going in? That's up to Galt.
Willie.
Willie
Well,
Galt
they played at about the same time.
Willie Galt will probably go in because of the track and football thing.
Larry
Seaver's
Severs called a lot of passes, man, and he called a lot of difficult passes.
A lot of big ones.
A lot of big
lot
ones.
of third down passes. A lot of touchdown passes during their time because he didn't throw a lot.
No, that's back in the Bill Battle days at Tennessee, and
But he was a good guy.
He was good. He's a good guy. He really is. He's a good guy. Now I know his family. And his sister used to be the superintendent of schools at Clinton City, and she went on to be was
Commissioner.
the commissioner of education for a while. I think she's something at MTSU now. Got something, chancellor or something, not whatever, over the department or something, whatever they call them, whatever they are. She's there
Don't
now.
forget David.
But,
Don't forget David.
David's kin. David Severs is kin to Larry. Yeah, they're kin.
He asked about you.
David, he's a good guy too, man. He's.
asked about you.
I like David. David's a Clinton guy. He lives down in Nashville now, or down that way. I don't know exactly where he lives exactly, but he's a good guy. Him and my brother are big buddies. Went to school
play ball together, stuff like that. So I ran around with him a little bit there. But he's a good guy, though. He really is. David's a good guy. David's dad was a longtime city manager at Clinton. Went on to build bomb pools, you know, and so he's a good guy. David's a good guy.
So as we go into the summer, fishing tournaments, big, huge fishing tournaments now.
Fishing's a big sport, man. If you really want to, if you really want to talk, you know, all you got to do is watch the Bassmasters series and stuff, and you know it's all over TV. It's everywhere, and you know the money's really picked up too, and it's covered about as well as anything.
We've
now.
got a huge problem coming our way. This Asian carp.
Yep.
Jump out of the water.
I heard you was telling me that the last time we were here.
If we don't do something, they're on their way into our lakes, and if they get in our lakes, it's over. Kentucky Lake harvested 27 million pounds of them last year. Could have done more, but they couldn't process them. Just in the last couple of weeks, tons of those fish are on shore somehow now.
So let me ask you a question: Do you already have them on your lakes?
No.
How do you know they're coming then?
Well, because they've migrated from the Kentucky lakes down the Tennessee River. They're coming toward Wilson Lake, Wilson Dam. Then it'd be Wilson Dam. Then it'd be down to Gunnersville, then to Nickajack. They're coming right on through the locks as they come through.
So
the
they just
locks.
come through the locks and migrate this way is what you're saying, right?
Lay 5 million eggs.
Wow.
So once
is that per fish?
Yeah, once you get them, you've got them.
How do you get them out?
You can't.
Well, how do you even go get what you just said and get 27?
Well,
whatever?
that's what
How
I'm
do you
saying
do?
is, well,
how do you do? I mean, how
commercial fishermen
just they come in and
just big nets,
nets
and jump in the nets.
You see them jumping out of the water. I've seen them jumping out of the water.
So we've got a serious problem. So if any of you value the lakes, you need to help. You need to talk to TVA and TWRA and anybody else you can, because
call your rep.
We got a big meeting on July 13th with those departments, and we got to stop it. It's killed tourism on Kentucky Lake. So you can imagine, just think about Norris Lake coming to a screeching halt. What it would do to that area.
Well, you know, for a long time, North Lake was pretty much a dead lake anyway, as far as fishing went on, and all at once it sort of came back around.
We're fighting the weeds now as well. So,
what do they think causes that, for those weeds to grow up? Is it got something to do with TVA?
No, we think that came from Gunnersville off of boat trailers. Hydrilla, there's about 3 different species of grass, and what they do is that it grows, and it grows up to the top of the water, and it's in shallow water, and when it gets hot, and I have to have a guy spray around our docks, or you can't get your boat out. It just wraps around the propeller.
Is there some way to? I know you said spray. Yeah. I guess that works a little bit.
So you can do that for weeds. On the other hand, the Asian carp you can't do anything with.
Environmentally, though, what's that do to the water?
Nothing. You can go swimming after they spray, they say.
Yeah, they say.
Now, my wife won't let my grandkids in the water after, but they say they can. The only thing you can't do is irrigate for 3 days, because the herbicides in there that are killing the weeds will kill the grass.
So is there any way to stop that early on?
No. Once it gets here, you can't. And the fear there is that a lot of people probably in the wintertime, when the water's down, trying to use Roundup or something, which
that's even
puts all that poison and stuff in the water, because they're not measuring it or anything.
The reason I asked the question I asked is not because does it kill the fish? Yeah. Does it kill your fishing?
No.
So do you catch a lot of fish off your dock?
I don't fish.
I know you don't fish, but do you know there's people fish?
Oh yeah. There are people coming in there. Yeah.
They fish, and it's not affected. It doesn't affect the fishing or anything.
No. But it's we've got some potential big problems in our area with tourism. It's a big deal.
Big deal. Well, like I said, fishing's become a big sport, and people like if you have that come on your waterways, I can see where tourism-wise,
Well,
that'd be a big thing for couldn't go enjoy the water.
TVA has said that our shorelines are worth $1 million a mile. And we have more shorelines in Roane County than any county in the state. So it would cost Roane County because if you live on the lake, you pay about 30% more of taxes. And that number is going up because of the values that are going up. But just 2 years ago when I did the study, it would have cost Roane County $3.5 million just in lost property taxes.
You have to pay a dock fee to TVA?
No.
You don't have to pay a dock fee?
No.
You have to be in an area.
You pay a fee to get a permit.
To get a permit?
It's the same thing.
But you have to be in an area though in order to get that permit also, though. You can't just, they don't grant them everywhere. Because I know why I say that. Ron Meredith, where he lives, he's tried to get a dock forever.
Well, now, there are some restricted areas.
Yeah, there's some he's apparently in a restricted, there's docks everywhere coming down to him, but when he gets to him, he can't have a dock.
Yeah,
He's on the channel.
There's some
He's
TVA,
on the channel right there.
There are some TVA wetlands where you can't have docks. There's not many, but there are some. There's restricted in some subdivisions where you can have a dock, but you can't have a lift. You can't have a roof, a boathouse. You can just have a dock. So there are several restrictions, restricted areas. But I tell you, we live in such a great area with the lakes that I mean, you look at Von Orr, where they manufacture 3 or 4 different kinds of boats down there. That comes to a halt. So it affects the restaurants. The number of jobs.
Yeah, the water,
and if you go to Kentucky Lake, I'm telling you, Kentucky Lake used to be one of the most viable lakes in the area. It came to a screeching halt.
Because of fish jumping out of the water.
And they've controlled it some now by taking 27 million pounds out. But it doesn't matter about controlling them because you still can't use the lake. So that's the bottom line.
Yeah, the waterways is a pretty valuable resource around here. It's
huge.
It's a huge resource and huge income in that month, in that time frame. Well, the waterways is used a lot. Fishermen use the waterways all year round, but as far as recreational, and you only got a certain window there from this point to this point to use the waterways. So some wise anyway, warm weather.
It's a mess.
A big thing.
But if you need to talk to your local officials because we've probably got about 3 years before we figure they'll be here.
Maybe
just follow a migration chart.
Maybe they'll figure out a way to stop it.
Well, there's ways to stop it. You just got that's the problem is you got to get all these agencies on board. But there's about 3 different techniques being used.
Well, maybe they'll figure out a way to do it.
So,
well, we're fixing to get out of here, so we'll be back here in a week or 2 or 3 weeks, something like that, and we'll see if we can't get a few coaches on board. That'll come. Maybe we
just see when you're gonna get the locker room cleaned out.
I'll probably come down one day next week. Brad let me in, and I'll sweep the floor or something.
That'd be good.
A
while ago you were gonna dust and all that other stuff.
I'll dust.
Okay.
I'll bring a rag or something. Wipe the table off. Man, I'll tell you what I'll do. When I come and do that, I'll get him to film me doing that, and we can play when we come back. That'll be our opening clip coming in. He can show that. He can show that with me doing that. How's that sound?
Well, they don't even have to do that. I mean, you just
we
just come over to your house. I'd rather him come to your house.
He can come to my house.
Yeah, I'd like to see that. I'd like to see
my house too. Folks,
I'd like to see Sweet Pea sitting back in her big chair and watching you run that vacuum cleaner.
Getting whip on me. Hey, we'll be back here in a few weeks. We're going to take a week or 2 off because of the dead period. We got to get a little rest for football season starts.
Got to get it right, everybody.
Maybe he'll come back a little bit more intelligent. I doubt it. We'll see you back here in a week or 2, okay? We'll be back here on the locker room chat. Good to have you, Barry. See you, buddy. All right, see y'all.
Commercial Metals Company is still a locally operated company that's serving the people of East Tennessee with convenient hours of operation. Commercial Metals buys all types of scrap metal. Nothing is too big or too small. Still have that old clunker sitting around? We've been buying them for years. Commercial Metals are specialists in commercial scrap. We have what it takes to get any size job done. Commercial Metals encourages you to recycle responsibly. Scrap with